Now that we have the inventory in, Kaylee's going to go through this bottom piece here. So she's going to create the lead and show you what that looks like from the Outlook application, then show you the CRM components in terms of the opportunity, create the sales quote. She'll create the sales order, and then we'll go ahead and ship that. So you can kind of see what that looks like in Acumatica. Again, so kind of getting this interdependent cross-module integration as a real time saver here. Okay. All right, I'll turn it over to Kaylee.
All right, thank you, Andrea. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. All right, so right away, we can see I'm taken to my, dashboard. And as Andrea kind of pointed out, there's many different dashboards available within the system, and we can see how mine differs from hers. So I have that customer view dashboard on mine. So I'll start out by showing this. And as we discussed in our last webinar, dashboards give us kind of that real-time view of data within our company. So looking at this specific dashboard, we already start to see, that seamless ERP and CRM solution working together. So, we have some accounts receivable information and then some CRM components such as open support cases and overdue cases. So I'll just drill down into a specific customer here. And when I do that, we see that data within my dashboard changing to give us kind of that 360-degree view of that customer data all in one place for us. So now I'll kind of walk through this CRM flow within Acumatica. So within this flow diagram, we see kind of some of those basic CRM components, right? So we have that lead coming into the system through a variety of different ways. We'll kind of go over this process, but I just wanted to show you first. So, we have Outlook. We can add that through a mobile device and some other ways as well. Once we have that lead, we can convert that into an opportunity. We qualify that lead, convert it into either a contact or opportunity. We can create that business account from there as well. And then we can start to do stuff like create that customer and then place quotes and sales orders as well. So that's kind of the general flow. So now we're going to hop in and kind of show you that in action. So I'll open my Outlook here. And I recently just got an email from a potential lead. So it says, we're interested in purchasing some of that shampoo from you for our country club. So right within here, I can actually use this Acumatica plugin and create that lead. So it auto-populates some of her information. We have the option to change it as well. I'm going to go ahead and apply this to a specific customer. That might not always be the use case, but you can do that right through the add-in as well. And I'll go create lead. And then if I click view lead, it'll actually open up Acumatica for me, and we can view that lead right in here as well. So I might want to make a couple different changes. I'll switch these. And we can save that. And there we have it coming in right through the Outlook and with her email. And I could add any information I know as well, but I may not know that at this time, so I'll just go ahead and proceed. So we'll open this up. And then, I had a conversation with her in the past, so I can go ahead and qualify this lead and accept that qualification as well. Just to note out, we can add different activities on this lead as well. So, I could create some notes. I could escalate this, create a message or phone call, or some tasks as well. So with this, I'm just going to go ahead and convert this lead to the opportunity within the system. I'll give it a description. Fill in some of this information. And as we see, it's taking that business account that I put directly through the email as well. And then we'll go create and review. And there it directly opens me up to this opportunities screen, where we can see that contact coming in from the lead as well. So I'll go ahead and open this up. And with this opportunity, I can easily create a sales quote. So, she referenced wanting some shampoo for her country club. I can go ahead and add some line items. So we can use that crew shampoo that Andrea had just put inventory on. And as we can see, that amount's coming in. We'll go ahead and save it. And then we can create that quote. So we'll go ahead and create that quote. There we have that inventory crew shampoo coming in just as I had it. And from there, we can go ahead and convert this to a sales order as well. And then we can go through, that whole process of fulfilling an order. So here we have that sales order. I'll go ahead and save that. So, we're seeing those aspects of the CRM and ERP, integrating natively. So with that was kind of the basic CRM flow. We went over that pretty quickly. It was a brief introduction, but we're seeing all those main components there. So with that, I'm going to pass it back over to Andrea, and she'll kind of jump back in and show us how we can, create that shipment and finish this process. There we go.
All right, so we'll pick it up at the order. There we go. Okay, so I have my sales order screen open. This top one for ABC Capital Ventures, that's the one that Kaylee just created. You kind of see these side panels here again, which are pretty helpful, right? I can actually open up the sales order from here without having to drill into it. I can also see, anything else about this client as well. So I can see that customer record, any details on that in terms of if I want to look at their financial terms or their billing, what have you. That's all available here through the side panel. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the order itself. Few things to note here. So you see that unit of measure, it's no longer in eaches because that was our stocking or base unit of measure. It's now in a case. So it'll be looking for quantity of 100. If I look here on the bottom, it says on hand, right? And how much is available in terms of a case. And so it says, okay, there are 6.01 cases available for shipping, right? And so if I just take a peek at the bottom, it will tell me if I have enough inventory on hand, for example. Let's see. Okay, under the relations tab, just want to call out, here you can see kind of that cross-module integration from the CRM tab. So I can see exactly what opportunity this was for. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and look at that sales quote that Kaylee created. So all that's just available and referenced here as well. Okay, so if I go back to details, now I can create one or many shipments from this sales order. If I don't have enough inventory, but I have enough for some, I can create a shipment and then the status would then be in backlog. And so it does track, orders that have shipped but have remaining quantity, for example. So I'm going to go ahead and create the shipment here from the sales order. I want to note too, this is also a mass process that you can run as well. So you can have a mass process run on a schedule, which can automatically create the shipments for you rather than doing it from a sales order. So I'll go ahead and create that shipment, hit OK. A few things to note here with the shipment, right? So first of all, again, if I didn't have enough inventory to ship, I can actually change the shipped quantity. In this case, I am going to ship a case, but I could change that here as well. It will reference a sales order that it's for. In terms of packages, I could, identify, it's a FedEx order, it's a UPS order. We can integrate with lots of carriers, and then you can actually get the weight into Acumatica and actually print the label from Acumatica as well using those carrier integrations. So that's an option that's available as well. These shipments can also be done through the mobile app as well. So lots of options there in terms of the shipping. Just reference the shipping tab. Everything that was set up on that customer auto-populates onto the shipping, right? And I can choose to override that if, it has a special contact for that shipment, for example. But you can see, I got the phone number, the email address, the physical address all came over from that customer record, which you can certainly override on the shipment if needed. just to reference here, we can have different ship vias set up, like we mentioned, the FedEx or the USPS, for example. We can shop for rates once we get those boxes and those weights in there. So all of that's available as well. So once I confirm this shipment, we still haven't released the inventory. This is just to say that everything's ready to go. It's coming out the door. As soon as I hit update IN, now it creates that inventory issue. And so what you see, if I go to this orders tab and create this, again, with the cross-module integration, that inventory is now out of my warehouse. This is the inventory transaction that it created. So we're in the sales order module, but it referenced back to the inventory module. And so it issued out a full case. And then if I go to financials as well, you see that general ledger batch. Again, those posting classes auto-populated the debit and credit in my inventory issue. So all of that can be automated throughout the software. So at this point, I'm going to prepare the invoice. I can choose to have one invoice per shipment or one invoice for multiple shipments. I'm going to go ahead and just create one invoice for this shipment. This is also something that I can do on a mass processing page as well. And so if I wanted to, maybe at the end of the day, just mass create all those AR invoices and send them out via email, you can automate all of that as well. But just to kind of show you the manual steps here to get a feel for the system, this is what that would look like. So here you can see, here's the AR invoice to the customer. At this point, I can review it, right? And it does reference back to shipment, references back that original order number. So again, all of that reference is there. At this point, no GL has been hit until I hit the release button that actually releases it and hits the general ledger. A few things to note, we can do things like print the invoice again. We can email it from Acumatica. Acumatica also, you can do credit card processing as well. So you can integrate with things like Authorize.net or Stripe and actually process the credit card payment within the software too. Okay, so at this point, we went through kind of that lead creation. Kelly showed you how to qualify. All of those steps can be modified with the workflow engine. So if you have a specific kind of, cold to hot, CRM flow, we can definitely tailor Acumatica to meet kind of more of your process as well. That opportunity management, that can be tailored. The sales quote, you saw her create just one sales quote, but there's also the ability to have multiple types of quotes and then mark one as primary and finalize that, right? So if you kind of have a lot of back and forth with your customers and need multiple types of quotes, that's available as well. Then we had the sales order. We created that shipment against it. And then we created that AR invoice as well. Just to note in terms of customer management, don't have time today to go through it, but we do have things like case management. So if you wanted to track and manage customer cases within Acumatica, that's available as part of the, as an add-on to the CRM suite. There's also a customer portal. So you can actually have a portal that customers can log into. They can see their invoices and such. All of that's available as well. Okay. So finally, just to end in terms of next steps, if you would like to see more, you're interested, please reach out to me. Be happy to hear from you. We can kind of set up an initial kind of discovery call and kind of figure out where you are, what you're looking for in a new product. If you did decide to proceed from there, we would then kind of formalize what the project looks like, scope it out, get all of that kind of worked out, and then actually kick off the project. Then we would go through system implementation. So we have a process where we have a formal kickoff. We gather your requirements, really understand what your vision or your aspirations for a new kind of process and workflow are in a system. Get that documented, and then go through module setup, some training and piloting, and then data conversion and go live. So again, we can go through all of that in kind of our first few sessions together, and then Acumatica and SVA have a perpetual support agreement as well. So we can, we have a dedicated technical team that you can submit questions to well after you're live, the whole life cycle of the implementation, and ask the team that actually did the implementation to help service those questions as well. So in terms of support and stabilization, we have a team that can support you, and Acumatica also, as part of that SaaS subscription, has basic support as well.